We were losing dozens of potential leads every week because our AI agent kept marking hangups as real conversations. So last month, we rebuilt our entire outbound post-call flow logic. Since then, our conversion rates have increased substantially because we are mimicking how the best human setters operate. In this video, I'll walk you through our new sequence update step by step, and at the end, I'll show you the post-call analysis workflow we use to filter real versus hang-up calls. Okay, so this is a pretty big update, and before we actually dive into the post-call flow that we've built, I think it's important to cover the actual automation from a more global perspective in terms of what's going on. So it all starts with a new Facebook lead. From there, we have an automated outbound follow-up sequence, and then an outbound call is attempted. Now, what we've gone ahead and done is we've put this into 4 different buckets. Okay, the first bucket being no answer, second bucket being callback requested, the third bucket being actually booked appointments, and the fourth one being not interested. Now, what we were doing prior was anyone who didn't answer would get added back to the callback queue. It would then look, are we at the max number of attempts? And if we weren't, it would go back to that outbound follow-up sequence and call them during that next call window. Otherwise, max attempts had been reached, and it would go ahead and remove from the workflow and mark them as not interested. Now, one of the issues here is that let's say someone were to answer the call, say one specific word like hello, not be able to hear us or have any connection, they would hang up. That would be marked as an answered call because technically it is an answered call. But what would happen is it would then come down to one of these call outcomes where they either booked or they were not booked or not interested. So that was kind of the old flow, was booked, not interested. And the issue with that is it would just go into not booked, and it would remove them from the outbound call flow, and that would be it. You know, this could be a good lead. Maybe they just had trouble connecting. And so what we had to do was, think, how do human setters operate? Well, if someone hangs up like that, chances are we're calling them back again because we've made a connection and we want to get on the phone with them. So in those scenarios, we've now updated our prompting logic in this outbound post-call flow analysis, which we'll get into in a second, where it's marked as no progress instead, right? So it'll fall under the same category, the same umbrella as no answer, and then they will get added back to that callback queue and we'll follow up with them again. Now, not interested didn't change much. So let's say the call was answered and that person gives a hard no or an opt-out, right? We just go and exit that workflow permanently. Booked, we did upgrade slightly. So if you see here, let's say they did qualify and they did book an appointment, well, then they will exit the workflow immediately. And then they get a confirmation via SMS and email, letting them know that they have booked. And then 24 hours before, they get a reminder confirmation, which they'll either confirm or decline or just not answer. In either case, right, except when they decline, where they will get added to a reschedule sequence that we built out, what happens is they receive nurturing content. So there's studies that have been done that show for anything high ticket, people like to be nurtured, right? They like to have seen content. They like to have confidence in the decision that they're making. And so the more content that we can provide to that potential customer prior to them making that buying decision will greatly increase the chances of them paying more for that service. And this is true across any industry. So let's say, for instance, we're working with dentists right now. One of the things that we really focus on is having really good expectation setting videos. So what to expect when you go in for your dental implant, how long that procedure takes, what does IV sedation look like? All of these things we've packaged into little videos, and we then provide those videos to the client once they've booked in. It just increases overall show rates and also allows them more confidence that the decision that they're making is the right one. Now, after that, there's a 1-hour reminder, then there's a 5-minute reminder, then we have the meeting or the event where they will either no-show, it kicks them back into that reschedule sequence. Otherwise, they attend, and then we have a new client onboarding procedure. Now, one of the big things that we just added, and I feel like this was kind of the gap that we were missing, was when those people request callbacks. So let's say not everyone is always going to be available. Sometimes we'll call people and it'll be late at night, or it could be anything. It could be that they're picking up their kids from school, who knows, right? But not everyone's always going to be available. And so in those cases, we've put them into 3 different buckets. Okay, so it's either after 48 hours, right, in terms of the callback, like, hey, I'm not interested in making this decision right now. Maybe contact me a month after the holidays and we can take things from there. So in that case, we're going to drop them into a long-term nurture sequence, and we're going to be hitting them with monthly value-based follow-ups to keep that audience warm until they are ready to make that decision. Otherwise, they either don't provide a time, right? So they'll say like, call me back later, they'll hang up, or a time is provided, such as call me tomorrow at 2 p.m. So in those cases, after that call ends, they're getting an SMS confirmation. So, hey, sounds good, I'll call you later, or I'll call you soon. We then schedule that call during the next call window. So we look at the transcript, we extract based on whatever category it falls into the next calling window. So if they provide us the time, we'll schedule it directly. Otherwise, we look at when that next calling window is. So if it's morning, we'll call them in the afternoon. If it's afternoon, we'll call them in the evening. From there, 5 minutes prior to that callback attempt, we will hit them with another follow-up, just letting them know that, hey, it's Natasha from Target Dial calling you in a few. And then we place that callback attempt where they will either not answer and they get back into that callback queue, or they do answer and they will fall into one of these 3 outcomes. So all in all, we are trying to model the top human appointment setters behavior. And with this updated structure, we're seeing much better conversion rates. Now, I wanted to go into the outbound post-call flow a little bit. Prior to this, it looked something a little bit more like this, and it was actually missing this agent right here. So what's going on here? So obviously there's a lot going on. First, one of the things we noticed is that not all calls that retail sends you are classified as voicemail. So AI is not, with all of these voice agent providers, right? Retail, Vappy, Bland, all of them do not always classify calls that go to voicemail as voicemail. And as a result, if it fails the first voicemail check, we have a secondary voicemail check, because we've noticed that, roughly 10% will be categorized wrong. And what happens there is it'll add them back to that outbound call queue that we see right here. Now, if it is indeed not a voicemail, it'll come down to this call triage agent. And that's where it determines which one of these 4 categories does it fall into. So if there's no real conversation, we're classifying it as no answer. If there is a conversation and they do book, then they go down the booked workflow. Same with not interested, they go down the same workflow. Otherwise, they request a callback. So in this case, you can see here, what we're doing at the end of this is we have an AI agent, and that AI agent is helping us detect either potential booking errors. So let's say your tool call is not firing properly, right? We're not able to check availability. We're not able to create a booking for whatever reason. This AI agent is really kind of that final proof check to see, was the booking truly successful? Or was there just intent to book and your tool failed? Or are there potential issues in the conversation that led to that person not being interested? Sometimes the responsiveness of your agent needs to be decreased. For instance, if you're dealing with older demographics, you're going to want to decrease the responsiveness of your agent so that there's more gaps in between when it speaks, so that it allows older demographic to be able to have time to answer that message. And all of this is stored in a Google Sheets where we track the overall performance of our agents. Now, the big addition, like I said, is this callback requested, where it'll come down and then we have another call triage agent, which is either putting it into a long-term follow-up, where similarly to this, it will update our contact, send the call recording to go high level. And when it updates it, it adds it to a long-term nurture flow. And all of those recordings are stored in our database. Otherwise, if a time is given or if no time is given, we have a code node that is able to extract those times or assign it to the next time window, then send them SMS letting them know that we'll reach out to them shortly. We then wait based on the output of this code. So within the wait timer, you can either have a fixed. So if I just open up this one, you can see we can either have a fixed or an expression. So we're using the expression that comes from the code node to wait until that next designated time, where we then send a message letting them know we're going to call them shortly. We wait a few minutes and then we place that call. And then at that point, once that call is finished, it will just get added back to this flow and determine what the outcome of that call was. So all in all, this has greatly improved our agent's performance, and I would highly recommend you build something similar to this if you're in the voice agent space. And if you are a business looking for these sorts of things, feel free to connect with us and we can see if we're a right fit to work together. With that being said, I hope you got massive value out of this video. And if you did, please consider dropping a subscribe. It's free, allows me to continue making videos like this. And with that being said, I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.